Okay, so this is manipulating math in multi-step equations. So we've talked about one-step equations and two-step equations, and in those two videos I covered the basics of what it means to solve an equation and the steps that you should follow and the rules that you have to work with. And now I'm just going to use that to apply to some problems and show you a couple of problems that may not be too familiar to you just yet. See if you can work those out. So just be prepared to do lots of practice. Okay? In one and two step equations, there isn't much to get the variable by itself, but now you have to kind of consider, well, where is the variable and where am I trying to go? And you have to think ahead a little bit. So start practicing that, thinking ahead to the next step. So we subtract 6 from both sides. Then in the second step, we subtract x from both sides, and that's how we get x by itself. And remember, you can add like terms. Check out my video on adding like terms. It's really short, simple, not very much, but it's a good refresher if you need to rethink what are like terms. So then we subtract x from both sides, and we come out with 2x equals negative 10. Now we have 2x equals negative 10. The x is being tied to the 2 by multiplication. So to undo that, we divide, yes, negative 5. So I'm not perfect. Everybody makes mistakes, myself included. But thanks to this video, I can edit out and pretend like that negative just appeared there. Okay, cool. Next problem. 3x minus 8 equals 5x plus 2. We're going to subtract 2 from both sides. Reverse PEMDAS. We got a little bit going on here. We got addition and subtraction and multiplication. So again, reverse PEMDAS, subtract 2 from both sides. Now why did I do that? I could have subtracted 8 from both sides. The reason I didn't do that was because I looked ahead and saw that if I did that, I would have to subtract 5x, which would give me a negative x. Didn't want to think about negatives too much. These drills and this practice will get you into the mindset of thinking ahead to the next step. So knowing that I didn't want to have a negative 2x on the left side, I decided to subtract the 2's and get the numbers on the left side and get the variables on the right side. So then I get 3x minus 10 equals 5x when I subtract 2 from both sides. Now I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides to get the variable by itself on the other side of the numbers, and I'm going to come out with negative 10 equals 2x. Again, negative 10 equals 2x. Divide both sides by 2 to cancel the multiplication between the 2 and the variable. And then again, I get negative 5 equals x. Now some people get confused when the variable's on the right side. It's an equality sign. It's an equation, which means it's the same thing going on both sides. It looks different, but it's the same thing going on both sides, and you do the same thing to both sides. So there's no reason that I can think of as to why it wouldn't be okay for you to work it out in this way. If it confuses you, you can turn it around. My concern is I've seen some people make mistakes when they're trying to flip the equation. I think you're more likely to make a mistake trying to flip the equation than you are just following the rules and doing what you know to do and coming out with your answer in the end. Then, when we get there, then you can flip it and say x equals negative 5 with a lot less risk of messing up. So that's just my advice. Here's our third problem. 5 divided by p minus 3 equals 7. So the first step's pretty easy. You're going to add 3 to both sides. We're going to come out with 5 divided by p equals 10. And we're going to come out with 5 divided by p equals 10. Now, what do we have to do to both sides? Well, we got to get the variable by itself. And it may be a little daunting or confusing at first when you see that there's nothing you can really do that will get p by itself. So there's an additional step that we're doing here. But remember, we're following the same rules. We're doing what we know to do. And so we know that our answer is going to come out right because math is just that cool. Okay? So now we're going to multiply both sides by p because that's the only way to kind of get p from under the 5. There's no way to get it by itself if it's under the 5. So we got to get it out from under there, which means to multiply by p. And if we do that to one side, we got to do it to the other side. So we're multiplying both sides by p. That leaves us with 5 on the left side. And then we get 10p on the right side. And at this point, that's a one-step equation. Okay, so it was 3 steps. Now it's down to a one-step equation, which we covered 2 videos ago. So if you're on this video, I know that you can do that part. So go ahead and do that. And of course, here we have it. 5 equals 10p. Divide both sides by 10. P equals 1/2. And again, just work it normally. Don't worry about it if the variable's on the right side. It's totally cool. Alright? Don't worry about it if the p is on the right side. If your variable's not first, it's okay because it's an equation. Both sides mean the same thing. Cool. I think I'm going to put up another video with some more examples, maybe some more complex examples. For those of you who are moving forward quickly, maybe I'll include some exponents. Okay? If you're not ready for that, review this video. Make sure you get these notes. I have plenty of practice on this. Okay? Cool. Good luck and see you in class.